Sawaddeeka, your friend Pradichaya is back with the next episode for Cook Like a Thai Made Simple. Cook like a Thai. Cook authentically with stories. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. But before we get into that, do your thing, like, subscribe, share to all your friends who love Thai food just like you. And together, we can cook like a Thai. So sit back and relax. Well, or not relax, but do whatever you do. Then start listening. Okay, let's go! Welcome to Cook Like a Thai Made Simple with Pradichaya Poonyarit. This episode is brought to you by Cook Like a Thai. Cook authentically Thai with stories. Are you a recipe hoarder? If you are, it's time you make those recipes useful for you. For as long as I've been in the United States, ever since my high school days, there was nothing I dreaded more than being asked, "What's the recipe for?" Name a popular Thai dish. After a few attempts to give them the recipe, I clam up, realizing it was quite impossible to just give a recipe to someone who didn't know that Thailand was not Taiwan. This part never gets old. The bullet train of questions came as soon as I started to try. What's that? Never heard of it. What does it look like? Ooh, where did you get it? Let me add here that the ooh part did not reflect disgust. Rather, it was more surprise at the sound of something so foreign to them. The series of questions continue. Even as a young adult, I knew this inquisition. Oops. Conversation would never end unless I ended it. Why? But why did I want to put a full stop to it? Simple answer. Because to explain every item in a recipe from a totally different culture to someone who clearly would leave it there as soon as they moved on with whatever they moved on to would have been a waste. Unfortunately for me, it didn't end there. Hey, write down for me, will you? I want to have it. Have it. Yeah, sure. Believe it or not, this event still occurs. Not as often as when I was younger, but that's because my husband and I moved to Thailand in my late 20s and lived there until I turned 40. Lucky him. None of the local Thais ever asked him how to make some popular American food. Now only on rare occasions when I get asked, can I refer them to cooklikeathai.com. Most of them don't go. The time spent in Thailand was before the world connected with cyber fiber, but suddenly any person with Wi-Fi and data plans has access to everything at a click of a mouse and a push of a button. Thanks to that, millions more people in the world get to know Thai food compared to my younger days. In a few seconds, you can click save, copy and paste, and take screenshots. There are also more Thai cookbooks out there. It used to be that only publishing companies would publish books, not just books, but ones with the best content from well-known chefs. Jennifer Brennan published the first Thai cookbook in 1984. Then others came, chefs, restaurant owners, and television celebrities who made their names for themselves and later published their books. Some wrote more books than others. Then the world opened up even more, and self-publishers wrote out like candies. YouTubers, food gurus, even home cooks, anyone can publish. And thanks to this newfound opportunity, I'm among them and published the book Cook Like a Thai, From Kapow to Kimao, and recipes in between. So you buy cookbooks and more and more. Let me tell you about buyers' behaviors. I used to go to Barnes & Nobles and would head over to the Thai cookbook shelf. I didn't even look on the back covers for the prices, and I didn't even care who wrote them. Instead, I stood there flipping pages. I first looked at the photos, then I glanced at the contents. Most often, I would buy every book I picked up. The excitement of having a couple of Thai cookbooks in my possession made me beam. They were my brand new shiny object of the day, and that's that. For one day, I would take a look at the books and read a recipe from each. Then I would find the right place to lie them nice and neatly and in alphabetical order on my small bookshelf. Yep, that's it. Until next time and the next. With more than occasional saving, copying, pasting, taking screenshots, and even extracting text. I even turn recipe web pages into PDFs. The next time I wanted a particular recipe, instead of seeing if I already had it, and I'm sure I had many versions of it, I went on a hunt. I bet you do it too, to some degree. Come on, let's face it. We all do it. It's our small guilty pleasure and even better for consumption than chocolate. But what's the point? What is the freaking point? Let me say right now that some of the Thai recipes you've collected could be more detailed, more complex, and in that sense, better than what I'm teaching you. But my goal is clear. I want you to really get Thai food so you'll be able to cook it like a Thai. But again, what's the point? Recipes on paper and on a cloud where you keep all your mostly not important stuff are just sitting there waiting for you to cook with them. They can't get up and cook the most deliciously divine Thai dishes on their own, but you rarely or hardly ever touch them. During the times I spent in Thailand, either doing semester breaks or in the 13 years I lived there were countless gatherings among family. Most if not all were led by my mom. There would be a lot of food and a large amount too. My mom would cook a couple of dishes and the rest would be handled by live-in help who my mom trained. When they left, most of them opened restaurants or roadside cafes. As everyone joined in conversation, someone would burst out in gibberish. Wow, whoa, pita. Wow, the flavors are so out of this world yummy. Seriously. Pita. P is older sister, but it covers cousins, respect ranking, and a lot more. Ta is short for Tukta, and it was my mom's nickname. Tukta, pronounced Tukta. I want to say like Tuk Tuk, but you all mispronounced it, so I won't say that. Wait, I just did. I just did. Tukta, Tuk Tuk, Tukta, Tuk Tuk. Also, for clarity's sake, I want to add that what I'm telling you now is a combination of many repeated events with several occurrences and excited relatives. Excited because they loved my mom's food. This is a gem pita, even a famous Thai chef name dropping moment. Their dish is not as impressive as yours. What did you do to bring out this marvelous taste? My mom then explained her process of bringing out said flavors. If needed, she would go into the depth and the breadth of her personal tip techniques, which she added to some ingredients or the cooking steps that produced her dish with marvelous taste. It wasn't just in my family, you see. This is common among Thai people to ooh and ah with each other's glorious dishes, and it ends up with sharing the how-tos, with added extra their personal tips, even family secrets. And nobody asks for recipes, especially not strangers and not even acquaintances. Most Thais can easily provide the how-tos without any need for the recipes, only to people who already know Thai cooking. However, unless they're like me today, one with the intention of teaching and generating the Thai way of cooking, they're not comfortable doing so because they feel what they share with those asking, mostly non-Thai, Farang, will be just another instance of social talk that ends as soon as they walk away from each other. Now with social media, it makes it easier to take things and let them collect cyber dust. And we're all used to that. How many Thai recipes will you hoard? I mean collect before you take action. They'll never be useful to you until you try and fail, sometimes again and again. But you've tried. Recipes only work when you cook with them. Otherwise, they're worth nothing. Yeah, time to free up your hard drive. I order and self-publish From Kapow to Kimao and Recipes in Between. It's a beautiful book which I call a photo cooking guide. In it, there are hundreds of real-time photos I took during my cooking of only 2 handfuls of recipes as listed in the title. Yet there were 174 pages. Why did I do that? I've been a teacher for 35 years, whether in opera, voice, sales, marketing, or leadership. I also co-owned a gourmet food store, a restaurant, and an export soft-shell crab farm. I've come to believe that you don't learn by collecting books, sheet papers, text-based, theoretical things. Not even if you follow what the pages say. You learn by taking the theory and trying it out. What works for you may not work for the person doing the same thing next to you. And it ain't gonna work every time. But at least you know so you can make improvements or eliminate them out of your system for good. By just listing ingredients, giving their exact measurements for any recipes to you, whether inside my book From Kapow to Kimau and the future books to come, I know that I can convince you to follow through and start cooking. This is why I share my stories on top of the recipes, giving you the why followed by the how. Lifetime cooking stories, both from my Thailand and America days, all boil down to how you can cook like a Thai from whichever part of the world you find yourself. It's about you cooking Thai authentically with the integrity of the heart and the soul of Thai food. Using Thai ingredients with local ingredients, resulting in your own creations of the most heavenly, divine, delicious Thai meals. Thai food is different from most food. Its complexity of elements creates amazing tastes and aromas unlike any other. You can look up recipes, but it won't matter if the thrills and excitement move away and you forget about them. So stop collecting and start cooking. Come to me when you want to cook Thai food. And when you cook Thai food, you've got to cook like a Thai. There's no way about it. So when you're ready, take the Tom Yum Kung Mess Simple Guide I've prepared for you. It's my gift to you. Then when you decide you want to grow your skills, you let me know. I'm always going to be in your corner, teaching you, nurturing you as you cook your best, like a Thai. Sawaddeeka.
Thai food, when you can cook like a Thai. Pradichaya Poonyarit. Pradichaya